A ripple in still water. Our church's affirmation for 2016 is now is the time. Now is the time to be that ripple that helps make the shift in the balance of world consciousness. Doesn't have to be a big splash, does it? Just has to be my little ripple. And how do we do that? By making our relationship with God our priority this year. Today's talk is putting God first. Hi. How beautiful. Now, watch that. One little sound. Did you see? Everyone turned. That's all. She's being her unique self, right? That's all we have to do. Just be our unique self. And everyone is drawn to us. The degree which we place God first in our life is directly proportional to the amount of ease, happiness, and success we experience in our life. The degree to which we put God first. In today's fast-moving world, that which is faster, better, and brighter gets our attention, doesn't it? And we get so used to instant answers, instant results, multitasking, trying to get everything done at the same time. We leave little time for God in our day. Whatever's clamoring for our attention the most takes priority over God. Yes? Yes. So hear this. Anything that I worship, anything I put an excessive amount of time into, anything I look to for answers or for validation, I am making that a false God in my life. A God with a little g. We pursue these false gods in an attempt to make our life better, don't we? And it's only when something really goes wrong, there's no other way, I've tried everything my way, there's no other way, and my false gods can't help me. Only then do I seek God with a capital G. Marion Hammerman's daughter, Caitlin, was 20. And she was one of 32 people killed in the 2007 Virginia Tech shooting. Caitlin was Marion's life. She said she lived, worked, and breathed for her daughter. This is a quote from Marion. My days began and ended with Caitlin. Caitlin had become my God. Now my God was gone. You see, even those we love, we can make them our gods. Marion couldn't eat, she couldn't sleep. She lost interest in her job and everything around her. She said, I was born and raised Catholic. As far as putting God first, I wasn't thinking of anything beyond this world. Sometimes God has to scream to get our attention. That scream was the loss of my child. So one day Marion, overwhelmed by loss, went into the woods behind her house. She was angry, and she was screaming out loud to God. I told her you would always take care of her. Where were you that day? And in the middle of her screaming and her raving, something caught her eye. And she looked, and there was a doe just standing there looking at her. And she thought, dear, don't do that. They're afraid of noise. She stopped her yelling. And when Marion stopped yelling, in that moment, she said, I heard a very clear thought. You will see her again, but you will have to go through me first. Marion says she was not capable of having that thought on her own. She said it was not coming from her subconscious. And yet it was very, very clear. You will have to go through me first. Marion hadn't seen that deer come. She didn't see it go. But the deer's presence had shut her up long enough to listen, to hear that still small voice that's always there ready to guide us when we shut up long enough. Just like Marion, we seek God outwardly, in a person, in a situation, something that's going to make us feel whole, better, complete, that we matter. In Matthew 6:33, Jesus said, really hear this scripture. You've heard it before, but really hear it. But seek first his kingdom, and all things will be given to you as well. Seeking the kingdom means putting God first, shutting my thoughts up long enough to hear that guidance, that wisdom that's deep within me. And when I do, then everything in my life falls in place. As long as I keep scrambling for something out here to make me feel better, for something out here to make me feel complete and whole, when something goes wrong, I'm going to be in that empty hole all by myself. Our best life possible isn't about what we get outwardly. Because when I'm looking outwardly, what's directing my life? Need, lack, my little self, the ego, right? And I've forgotten that within me is a wholeness, a completeness, a perfection. My own unique self, made in the image and likeness of God. So let's just take a moment right now. Take a look at your priorities. Take a look at what factors direct your life. Just do this inside your head. Where do I invest most of my time, money, and energy? Think about that. Where do I invest most of my time, money, and energy? Look at this one. Which relationships or activities do I devote myself to every day? Which relationships, activities do I devote myself to daily? And then ask yourself, where do I place God on my list of daily priorities? Jack and his family lived in rural area of Tennessee. They had very little. And his family was at the point of being out of food. So Jack took his old shotgun. He had 3 bullets left. And went out to get food for the family. He saw a squirrel, he shot at it and missed. He saw a rabbit, he shot at it and missed. And then he saw a turkey, a wild turkey in the tree. He had 1 bullet left. And all of a sudden he heard a voice say, pray first, aim high, and stay focused. So he raised his gun to shoot the turkey. But just then, a deer came into his view. And he went, oh, that's more food to feed my family. So the gun was raised, and he lowered it. And just as he lowered the gun toward the deer, something moved between his feet. And as he looked down, there was a rattler ready to strike. And he heard the voice say, pray first, aim high, and stay focused. And that's what he did. He listened. He prayed, he aimed high, and he focused on that turkey. And the bullet hit the turkey, but it didn't stop. It ricocheted, and it went through the deer and killed the deer. And the recoil of that old rifle caused him to drop it. And as it fell, it hit the snake and killed it. When I shut up and listen, when I pray, when I aim higher, when I stay focused on that, I'm able to distinguish what's important in my life. I avoid wasting my time and my energy, and I let thoughts go that are not productive, that don't really matter, that aren't going to feed me. When my primary thoughts become thoughts of God, when I draw on God power rather than my human power, all my lower thoughts, the snakes, die. There's no room for them anymore. If your relationship with God isn't the top priority in your life right now, what needs to change? I loved this. I heard this. I should tell you it first, and then where I heard it. What needs to change in my life? Change the system to reflect my better self. The president said in the State of the Union address, we have to change the system to reflect our better selves. What a powerful statement. We become part of the ripple to change the system, to change the consciousness of our country, of the world. And not by trying to win others over to our ideas, but by letting the way we live our life reflect our better self. You're a unique expression of God. You're powerful beyond measure. Do you remember that as you go through your day? Do you walk in that as you go through your day? Do you live the teachings? Are you an expression of the teachings? Do you reflect the Christ self within you, that divinity within you? In Matthew 5:13, Jesus said, you are the salt of the earth. You are the salt of the earth. But if salt has lost its taste, how can its saltiness be restored? During the days of Jesus, salt was prized. It was very expensive. It was precious. And what does salt do? It flavors. It enhances. It makes things better. If I'm the salt of the earth, it's my job to flavor, enhance, and make things better. But if I lose my saltiness, how do I restore it? As I put God first more and more, my spiritual seasoning comes through me. People feel it. People taste it. And I flavor the lives of my friends, my family, my coworkers, and all those around me. Change the system to reflect your better self. Change my life to reflect my better self. Am I being my better self when I go through the day? You are the salt of the earth. You are the salt of the earth. And your unique flavor has the power to profoundly influence the lives of others and the world around you. little brook in that moment influenced all of us, right? When we heard her, what happened? There were smiles. Your hearts opened. And a child shall lead them. That child in us can lead when we're our unique self. So ask yourself this. Am I living on purpose to grow spiritually? Close your eyes. Am I living on purpose to grow spiritually? Don't judge yourself. Just have an awareness. Just have an awareness. Am I fully expressing my flavor? Am I fully expressing my flavor, my uniqueness, my God-given gifts? I don't have to try. It's easy. I just have to be me. Am I fulfilling my divine potential to uplift human consciousness by being a part of the ripple that makes a difference? Take a deep breath and know, open your eyes and know that it is within you to do these things. It is within you to live on purpose, to fulfill your divine potential, to uplift those around you. When you're with a group of people and they're talking negative, don't join in. You don't have to say anything, but center yourself. Hold the power of each of those people, yourself, the Christ self in that moment. The time is now. Today, this week, this year, put your life on God cruise control and stop putting God first. God bless you.